This is Team Blue, Week 2. I'm Natasha.
I'm Logan.
I'm Bernie. And I'm Colton.
When we first arrived here, we did not know what to expect. We were soon welcomed and began the day with physical and puzzling challenges. We learned new ways to learn each other's names, like the lumberjack handshake. We stacked our hands on top of each other and screamed our names back and forth. We then did the Mohawk walk. In the Mohawk walk, we had to use our listening skills and leadership skills. We had to encourage each other to keep going and communicate. We learned the 3 roles that you can take during challenges. You could be the captain, the crew, or you could be the passenger. The captain takes control of the group and helps to spread their ideas so that the task can be completed. The crew helps the captain and helps to execute the captain's ideas, at the same time give out reminders and goals to the group. The passengers just go with the flow and listen carefully to what's being done. Throughout the day, we try switching roles to get new perspectives of how a challenge can be done with different people leading and different people following. We learned important skills needed for group challenges, such as trust, patience, and perseverance. These skills helped us with all the challenges, and without them, we couldn't succeed. We set goals that we wanted to accomplish, maybe how much time we wanted to finish it in, or how much time people could fall on the ground so that we could meet those goals, and if not, restart the challenge so we could meet goals. This challenge required a lot of thinking. It was more of a puzzling kind of challenge. We had to think of ways to get across using strips of wood and also having 2 people per holder before we could move. We had to plan accordingly before starting so that once we start we wouldn't get stuck. We used teamwork and problem-solving skills to get across the stepping stones. Our group benefited the most from the Mohawk walk because of the great skills used to accomplish it. We had to use teamwork and perseverance to get through the hard obstacle course. Our group did well with communicating. We learned it was crucial to tell every move we were doing because it would affect the whole team. We learned to listen to each other and not talk over each other. We also learned how to share our many ideas and then choose which one was the strongest. At the same time, we were always smiling and having fun through each challenge. At the end of the team building session, we had obtained so many new skills that we were going to be sure to use throughout the rest of the week.
On day 2, we learned about wind power with Professor Bill. Professor Bill taught us that Michigan's coastlines are the best place to have windmills. He also taught us that wind is made by uneven heating of the earth. We learned the fundamentals that make a windmill and how it makes alternating currents. Wind pushes the blades to make kinetic energy that is turned into rotational energy and then converted into electric potential energy. A neat thing we learned about windmills is that they can come in all shapes and sizes. We also learned that windmills also have a lot of problems. For instance, they just look plain ugly for windmill farms. They also cause a lot of noise, they kill a lot of birds, they're underutilized, they're very inefficient, and they are highly variable. Windmills also can't take winds over 50 miles an hour, otherwise they'll just simply explode. This explosion causes a huge mess which wastes thousands of dollars worth of materials to build the windmill. After Professor Bill taught us about how the windmill works and how it's built, he had us build windmills out of Legos with our groups. We were assigned Lego kits, and using the parts from the kit, we built windmills using the instructions. Though it was hard, we did manage to build the windmill. Sometime into the construction, we noticed that we were missing some parts from the kit. This only made our task harder to do. We solved this problem by improvising some of the parts with what we had. Eventually, we were able to make our own fully functional windmill that was just as good as any of the other teams, if not, possibly even better. After we were done building our windmills, Professor Bill had us build our own cars, which would run on the battery which was powered by the windmill. Building the cars was a really hard process, and our team went through lots of frustrations, but eventually in the end we were able to pull it together and build our own functional car, which made the racetrack, and then we were all very happy.
Day 3, Materials Science. On day 3, we took metallurgy, which taught us some of the properties of the 91 different metals. Before we began learning about metals, we were asked what makes a metal anyways. After some correct and incorrect answers, we were told the real answer. Metals must conduct electricity, metals must have lust or shine, all metals may be deformed, and all metals have a crystalline structure. Once we learned the general properties of all metals, we then learned what metals, if any, can be found in the human body. There are about 20 different metals located in the human body, such as lithium, calcium, and aluminum. If there are so many metals found in the human body, then how do we get them there? Some may find themselves asking. The main way of getting those metals into your body is through ingestion of food such as chocolate. Although unknown to many, chocolate contains at least 10 different metals, such as calcium, magnesium, and even arsenic. Something to do with material science, some may ask, is why do they use titanium in golf clubs anyway? Because titanium is much lighter than iron. So why can't you see through metals anyways? Because their atomic structure is crystalline, so light can't easily pass through it. So what holds things together? Electrical bonds. What is the most electrically conductive metal, some may ask? Silver is actually the most conductive metal. Some may ask, why doesn't wood conduct electricity? Because it doesn't contain metal. Later, the teams were given geodes to bust open. Our team broke our geode open on the first try. Then, we were told to make crystalline structures out of building blocks. We had a tetragonal crystalline structure. Then we were given a microscope to take pictures of the geodes. Day 4. Solar energy. On day 4, we learned about solar energy with Professor Bill. We learned all kinds of things that we probably never would have thought of, even though this information was interesting and even kind of useful. For example,
we learned that in Michigan, the optimal position for a solar panel is facing south. Solar panels, also known as photovoltaic systems, absorb the sun's rays, making them into direct current, or DC. The main disadvantage of using solar panels is that when it is cloudy, you won't get very much energy from it. The main reason you only find black solar panels is because the color black absorbs the most sunlight. If you were to make a pink solar panel, for example, it wouldn't absorb very much sunlight and you wouldn't get as much energy. Even though sunlight is available in any place on Earth, some places are sunnier than others. Michigan, for example, isn't the greatest place to put a solar panel. After learning all of these things about solar energy, we had to apply our knowledge about solar energy by building a car made of Legos that was solar powered. At first, our group was frustrated. But after a couple of hours, we got it right and did pretty well.
Get set, go.
Come on, blue!
Blue! Blue!
Yeah! It's
Blue! Now it's going to the left. That's okay.
In the end, our car worked and we had a great week.
Blue team.